Some women don't just write stories, they change the story of a people, of a nation, of what it means to be alive and unafraid to remember. This is Archetypes of Success, and today we're entering sacred territory. 3 writers, 3 icons: Toni Morrison, Alice Walker, Maya Angelou. Not a literary trend, a trinity. Each of them gave us more than books. They gave us frameworks for freedom, rooted in language, in memory, and in archetypal truth. If you're just joining us, here's what we do here. We explore famous groups, cultural forces, through the lens of Jungian archetypes. These are universal patterns, not roles we perform, but truths we embody. The hero, the sage, the rebel, the lover, the creator. Toni, Alice, and Maya don't just fit archetypes, they shaped them for generations. Through novels, poetry, essays, and speeches, they taught us how to see ourselves, not through a lens of shame or struggle, but through the mirror of possibility. Toni Morrison was the high priestess of American letters. Every sentence she wrote had weight. Every silence between the words, intention. She was the sage, deliberate, mythic, a cartographer of ancestral pain and beauty. In Beloved, she showed us that the past is never dead, it's living inside us. In The Bluest Eye, she dissected the lie of beauty. In every interview, she reminded us that racism was not her burden to carry, it was ours to understand. Morrison didn't explain, she revealed. And once you've been shown the truth by a sage, you can never unsee it. Alice Walker writes from the earth, from gardens and kitchens and broken homes made sacred through memory. She is the creator, yes, but one who builds from wounds. In The Color Purple, she gave voice to Black women who had never been heard. She wrote with both fury and softness, braiding trauma and tenderness like a quilt of survival. Walker reminds us that healing is not a destination, it is an act of creation. She sees the sacred in the broken, the divine in the everyday. She's the wounded healer who not only tends her own scars, she teaches us how to bless ours. Maya Angelou was a storm and a sunrise. Her voice carried thunder, her rhythm, scripture. She was the hero, bold, autobiographical, defiant, and the prophet too. In I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, she bore witness to pain and reclaimed power. Her poetry, Still I Rise, Phenomenal Woman, On the Pulse of Morning, became collective mantras for survival and dignity. Maya was more than a writer. She was a life force who walked through fire and returned with verses. She did not ask for permission. She spoke, and the nation paused to listen. These 3 women lived different lives, wrote in different registers, but together they offered us a map. Morrison taught us to see. Walker taught us to feel. Angelou taught us to rise. Their archetypes still guide us, not just as readers, but as human beings searching for our own narrative threads, our truths, our pasts, our futures. They remind us that stories are not entertainment, they're rituals. They're how we remember who we are. So I ask you, which of these women shaped your sense of self? Which archetype speaks to the part of you still unfolding? Drop a line in the comments, a favorite quote, a passage that changed you, a book that found you when you needed it most. And if this is your first time here, welcome. We don't just celebrate success, we trace the archetypes behind it. Hit subscribe for more content like this, because this world needs more story, more soul, and more understanding for the roles we all play, even if we're not winning literary awards.